In this video we're going to look at a very useful Linux command called grep. So what grep does is it allows us to search for certain patterns in directories or files. So to start off, we will just have a look and see what it's used for. So the usage is, so it searches for patterns in each file. So it gives us an example, grep -i hello world, and it's going to search in menu.h and menu.c. So it's going to search in those two files. We'll come to what the -i means in a second. These are all the options that we can use, and we're going to go through some of these options kind of step by step, one by one. So let's just see what we're working with. Let's see what's in text. Tester. Okay, so we've got a file .txt. Let me just see what's in there. Okay, so we've got a bunch of commands in that file. Perfect. So let's say we wanted to search for okay, let's say we wanted to know whether cd, or let's say sudo, was inside of that file, right? So we are searching, we type in grep, we search for sudo, and then we specify the file, which is text nuda tester file.txt. So we can see, okay, there is a match. Let's say we did sudos. Okay, no, so there's no match there. The reason we know that there's no match is because nothing prints out to the screen. So what grep does is if there's a match, it prints it onto the screen. Let's say we wanted to do ls. Okay, we found ls. Let's say we wanted to do cd. cd's in there, right, etc. So this is a way to search for a string. So I'm searching for a string at the moment, cd, and it's going to check if it's inside of this file.txt. Okay, what if we wanted to kind of see okay, well, sorry, Linux, as we know, is case sensitive. So imagine we did sudo with a capital. So we're not going to find anything, right? Now, if we're not sure whether there's going to be a capital letter, or we're not bothered, right, and we want to find the word, then we can do -i. So -i is basically case insensitive. So let's see if that works. Okay, so even though we put a capital letter, we still found the occurrence of sudo in this file because it's going to ignore the case, right? So that's what this is. .i is ignore for the case, right? So you know, we could do sudo, and it's still going to ignore it, and it's going to find it. So let's also go with let's see if grep. So that's the next kind of one that we can go for is -v. So what -v does is it shows us all the lines where there is no match, right? So if you, it's kind of like an inverse search or an opposite search. So if you wanted to see you know, all the places where this grep was not there, then we could search. And if you actually had a look through all of these, you'd find that grep is not there. The next one, let's say we wanted to, okay, so we want to do, so at the moment what this will do is it will just kind of print it out to the screen. But what if we wanted to know where it was in that file, right? What if we wanted to know what line number? So we can use the -n. So this is for number, line number. So this tells us that it's on line 35. So if we actually cat, I think we can do cat n like that. I can't remember. Right. So 35 has grep. Right. So that's for showing line numbers, and again we can chain, or we can have multiple options. So we can do -n -i, and let's say, you know, that R was a capital letter, we can still find it. If we didn't put the ignore flag, it wouldn't find it, right? We can also do ni as well, which is the same as n -n-i, right? So we can use multiple options together. Let's say we wanted to see how many times grep, or let's do something else, ls. Let's say we wanted to see how many times ls is found in this file. So we can use the count flag, or -c. So it tells us that it's found one time. Again, we can chain them together. So by the way, if you don't know how I'm getting these commands up quickly, if you press up on your keypad, it tells us the it kind of auto populates the last command that you ran. So if I go up, that's the last one. If I go up again, that's the second last one, etc. And there's also, you can also type in history, and this will tell us you know, a history of all the commands that you've done in the past. So that's just a little diversion there, but a quick tip. So yeah, so this is for the number of occurrences of sudo in that file. It's 1. Again, we can chain, or we can have multiple options. So we can do I, and let's have sudo like that, and we still get 1. And then we could even oh, actually, I don't know if we can do that. No, we can't do that. So you can chain, you know, one or more options that make sense. So that's the list of occurrences. Let's also do, right, so we're checking it for a certain file, right? What if there's multiple files, right, in a directory? So let me just quickly one sec. Let's, how about we copy it? Yeah, okay, let's copy. So let's copy that, and then let's do text new, and then copy.txt. Okay, so I've copied the file. So now there should be 2 files in that directory, right? So there's copy and file.txt. So what if I wanted to, let's just say we had 10 files, for example, and I wanted to search for something very specific in all of those files, right? So what I can do is I can do tester, and then after that I can put a star. So this star means that it will search for everything, right? So it will search all of the files in that directory for sudo. It's going to ignore the case, and it's going to give me the count, right? So in this file it found 1, and in the file.txt it found 1, right? So you can use the star function to give you a to basically tell you the matches in multiple files, or all of the files in a directory. So if we omit the count, we can see that, okay, we found sudo in there and sudo in there as well. Let's say we had mkdir text new dir I don't know, let's just call it hello, right? So we've created a new directory, and then let's copy again, text new dir, let's do, right, we're going to copy that, oh sorry, don't know what's going on there. Why is that not cp text? Okay, it should work. Just bear with me a sec. So what I'm doing is I'm just copying the file into a new directory so that I can kind of show you what's going on. Okay, so let me just very quickly check. Okay, so I've created a new directory inside of the test directory or tester, and it's got again copy.txt. So this will allow us to well, I'll be able to show you the next thing. So let's say we wanted to, okay, so we can't use this anymore, right? Because this grep command is, because I've put the start, it's searching for every file, but there's a directory in, another directory in tester called hello. So it may not work, right? So it can't go in, so it did find those two occurrences of sudo in copy.txt and file.txt, but it had a problem with the hello directory, because it's saying that, you know, it couldn't find anything because it's a directory. So if we wanted to go into that directory, we can use the -r or recursive command. So we've seen this recursive option in as an option to other commands, such as deleting or, you know, removing, etc. So again, we can use this for this. So if we now go on, if we now do this, now it's able to find the first two occurrences that are in the test directory, and is also able to go inside of the hello directory and then also check the file that's in there. Now again, if inside the hello directory there was more directories with more files, then it would be able to go through each and every one. So we could do that, and then we could get the count, right? So now we know, okay, there's one occurrence in file.txt, one occurrence in copy.txt, and one occurrence in the hello directory in the copy.txt file. All right. Now what if we wanted to, okay, let's show you, let me show you. So we'll get rid of this ignore. So right now this is, let's just do file.txt. Right now this grep command, let me run it. Right now this grep command is checking for the word sudo inside of file.txt. So if we run that, we find sudo. Now what if we just put sud? So it does find a match. However, we're kind of what we're looking for is this pattern of a S, a U, and a D in succession. We're not actually searching for the entire word. So if we wanted to search for the entire word, so we wanted to see, not if, because that SUD could be part of another word, right? So if we had another, let's say we had something like sudos, if we're searching for SUD, it would come up with two occurrences, so both in the word sudo and in sudos, right? So if we wanted to just search for the whole entire word, we can use the option -w, right? And as we can see, there's no matches. If we then did like that, so there's no matches of SUD as an entire word. If we did sudo, right, so now we can see that there's one occurrence. If we get rid of the count, we can see that we can find the entire word. And then again, we can, you know, even if that was capital, right, we can ignore it, and we're still finding it because we're ignoring the capital letters. So that's to search for entire words or whole words. Let's say we wanted to, we just wanted to see, right, which file a certain pattern was in. So let's say instead of checking, you know, how many times sudo is found in that file, let's say we are searching for a directory, right? So we're doing this. Let's do -r. We're doing this, right? But instead of doing it this way, let's just say, okay, well, we're searching for sudo, so we know that's what we're going to find. We just want to see which files that they're in. So we can use a flag called well, dash L. So dash L will kind of list the files that give us a match. So if we do that, we can then see, okay, these are the 3 files that match with sudo as a whole word, and it's going to ignore the case, and it's going to recursively go through all the directories inside of that, right? I don't actually know if you can you just do that? Okay, yeah, so you can do that as well. But anyway, and I'm just using these together, but again, you could you could just use them by themselves, but obviously again, without the recursive flag, it's not going to be able to go into that directory, so you'll have to make sure that if there are other directories inside of a directory, then you have to use R, right? So I think that's pretty much it. So we've covered quite a lot, but as you can see, grep is a very powerful program. You don't have to just use strings. You can search for many different patterns, so it's really, really useful if you're wanting to kind of see basically find stuff in files. Grep is a very, very powerful tool, and it definitely beats going through manually and going through each file and seeing if something is there. There are ways that there are other ways to search and find for things. If I just go into if I cd into this, right, and we've got copy.txt. If you open the copy.txt file in a editor like Vim, you can search for things here. I think you just search for sudo, right, and then you can find it. But again, this is a much quicker way by just using grep, right? Hello, and then we do copy.txt. What is it saying? Oh, because I'm in the wrong sorry, clear. So I'm already in the hello directory, so I can just do that. So again, yeah, grep is a lot easier, a lot faster, instead of manually searching. Right, so that's a quick introduction into grep. Have a play around, get used to it, and I'll see you on the next video, which we will cover something else. Something else Linux related, but stay tuned for that. But until then, make sure you practice. Just get into the command line, make some files, some directories, and just play around and make sure that you're comfortable with this, because this is a really important skill to have. So I'll see you on the next one.